and in today's video I'm going to talk about something that I don't know, like I don't know if anyone's spoke about it before, but I'm in my ass. Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone spoke about this before, I haven't really checked or anything, but in today's video I'm going to talk about tattoo blowout. Now, tattoo blowout is something that not a lot of people know about, and once you know about it, you'll notice it on quite a few people, on a lot of people. I actually have a pretty bad, well, it's not terrible, but I have quite a bad tattoo blowout, and I'm surprised nobody has ever mentioned it before. I have not had one comment on this situation whatsoever, so I'm kind of happy about that. I don't know. Am I happy? Am I sad? I don't know. I'm going to educate you guys on what a tattoo blowout is. I'm going to show you my tattoo blowout, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss. I obviously don't know every single, you know, detail on why it happens and stuff like that, but I'm just going to talk about it. You know how I do. So first of all, I'm going to show you my tattoo blowout. It sounds really freaking dirty, doesn't it? I'm going to show you my blowout. Are you ready to see my blowout? So my tattoo blowout, I have quite a few on my traditional arm. Now the reason why I think mine has happened is because I have very thin skin on my arm, and this is normally the reason on why a tattoo blowout happens. You'll see it more often on a thin part of the skin arm. So where most of mine is my inner arm, so up around here, which is obviously where skin is quite thin. You don't have much meat on it type thing compared to your sort of forearm, where it's a lot more thicker skin. Your inner arm is a lot more thinner. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. So where my most major one is, I have like this weirdest moth. Go away. So where my major one is in my inner arm. Now I've seen it in a lot of my videos, and every time I edit I'm like, oh, someone is so gonna call me out on it. But nobody has. I guess you guys think I'm dirty because that's what it looks like. It looks like I have a dirty patch on my arm, or I'm just very bruised, or I'm just lightly bruised, and again, nobody's mentioned it. I'm just like, what? So I'm going to show you guys my one. Now, from far away, you can't actually see it that much, but if I get right close, so basically where mine is just here. You may not even be able to see it that much. There you go, if I turn, there you go, so you can see it right there, and it just looks like a massive faded bruise, or just look extremely dirty. It's faded so much since it happened, and I didn't really even notice it to start off with. I just thought I had ink stain. You know, when you get a new tattoo, sometimes ink just stains your skin. And after about a week or so, when it was still there, I was just like, oh, what is this? Why is it not coming off? And I honestly just didn't really pay too much attention to it. The tattoo artist that does my black and grey realism tattoos noticed it and was just like, you have a tattoo blowout on your other arm, and I was just like, wait, what? What the fuck is that? And then he explained it to me and stuff, and I was just like, oh, okay. And I have a few little blobs here and there on my other traditional bits, like on this side of my arm, but nothing as noticeable as this one here. Basically, so, okay, let me just zoom out. So when I got the quote in my inner arm here, I didn't have one. So it wasn't that tattoo that did it. It was my tiger one, and it does go right into my inner arm, especially these whisker things here, and I think that's pretty much just how it happened. The tattoo artist that did this is a decent tattoo artist. I'm not going to say who it is or anything. I don't want to call anyone out or whatever, but he's a very, very good tattoo artist. And yeah, these things do happen. Sometimes it isn't the tattoo artist's fault. It may sound like I'm making up excuses, but sometimes it just happens. You know, it is down to the skin. With my black and grey one, you can't see any blowouts, but if I look really closely, I can see it. But because I have shading all around my tree, you can't see it. Now, first of all, what is tattoo blowout? Basically, a tattoo blowout, from what I know of, I could be wrong, is basically where ink sort of gets under the skin and just sort of spreads like an ink effect. So if you ever put ink onto water, you know, when it spreads out like that, it's something like that, I think. Again, I don't know the exact reason, but it just happens. But like I said, it happens mainly on thin parts of the skin. It can happen on wrists as well, inner thighs, but inner arms is the most common place for it to happen. And if you have it, it's a case of it does fade. Like mine was a lot worse than it is now, I'll tell you that for free. It can fade, or you can just get a tattoo over it. I mean, I'm really not going to have anything to go over this because I don't want to cover up that quote, so I'm just sticking with it. Like, it's a part of who I am. I have a funky blowout, whatever. It sounds so rude. So yeah, what causes it is many things. It can be down to a tattoo artist being a little bit too, you know, heavy, so going in too many layers of skin and then it just happens, or again it's the thinness of your skin. Is a case of it cannot be helped. If it happens, it happens. It can happen to the best of tattoo artists. All it takes is someone's thin skin or for them to be slanting a little bit. So sometimes if a tattoo artist goes in at an angle, it can, you know, spread out the ink, and it just happens. And if it's happened to you, don't worry about it unless you've gone to a very dodgy ass tattoo artist. It cannot be helped, and you can have it covered up like I just said. It's just one of those things. So if you yourself have a blowout, or you didn't know you had a blowout and you just had some weird ass stained skin, now you know. It's good to talk about these things and the side effects of tattoos. Most people don't talk about these types of things. They just talk about, you know, if you don't look after your tattoo, you're going to lose some of the colour in the tattoo or the vibrancy or what have you. People just tell you to look after the tattoos, but sometimes mistakes happen while getting a tattoo, or sometimes they don't even show up. Sometimes a blowout can take up to like 3 weeks to show up, like it can all of a sudden just happen. Hang on, let me just find something. Yeah, sometimes it can take a couple of days or, you know, months apparently. I don't know, like it can take a while for it to show up, but mine was pretty much instantly. I just thought it was a stain on my skin. It's just one of those things that happens. I have it and I've shown it to you guys, you know, I'm honest, like as always, I'm always honest. So yeah, don't worry if you have it. Well, I mean, it can be a bit like, ugh, really? Especially if you don't want to cover it up, but you know, you learn to live with it. It's one of those things. It's one of the risks that come with tattooing, and not many people talk about it, so that's why I've made a video. And sometimes it's the tattoo artist's fault, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's your skin's fault, sometimes it just happens. So don't try pointing fingers. If you get one, and if you get one, don't call out the tattoo artist and say, oh, they're shit. It just happens. Unless you've gone to someone's garage, or this person has only been tattooing for like a day, and they haven't had any proper training, that's when you can blame the tattoo artist. But it just happens, you know, it happens. You gotta deal with these things, you know? You just gotta deal with it, okay? So I'm glad I made this video, and I'm glad nobody has ever noticed it, but now you're gonna notice it. But it's better that I tell you guys what it is. Anyway, until my next video, I hope you guys are doing all well. If you've got any questions or whatever to do with tattoo blowouts, then comment down below. I can't take saying tattoo blowouts seriously. Like, I literally feel like I'm about to say blow off. Like, I feel like I'm talking about a fart every time I say it. I know I'm not, I'm immature, we know this. So yeah, if you've got any questions or comments or whatever, comment down below, and until next time, hope you guys are all doing very well. Until then, bye.